All right, this is our next episode of True Wrestling Fans Discussions, a continuing Hulk Hogan series. This is going to be Hulk Hogan right after WrestleMania 6 in 1990. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank. Let's jump right into this. We're going to take you over the course of 90 and 91 here. Now, this is post WrestleMania 6. Hogan has been dethroned. The Ultimate Warrior is reigning top where he should be. And so now, where does Hogan go from here? It's funny because I honestly, when I saw this live, the first thing I thought when Hogan lost the Warrior is, oh hell, they're going to go to SummerSlam. There's going to be a rematch. Hogan can't, he's got to do something about this. But instead, they put him in a storyline. It was interesting because it was actually able to give this guy not a main event push, I guess you'd say, with Earthquake. Because now he's going to be in a storyline with Hogan, so obviously this is going to push the man up. They did this in May on the Brother Love show, and I don't know about you, man, but when I was a kid and I saw this on Superstars, and I was like, oh my god, he killed him.
Yeah, what's interesting is that Jimmy Hart pretty much set up Hogan, and then a couple years later, whatever, then they're friends, and he's managing Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah, I love that. Just like Bobby Heenan, when the whole NWO thing, he was cheering Hogan right before Hogan turned, and it was, for a split second, Heenan was on his side. So it was weird. But yeah, like you said.
Yeah, but he did also say, but whose side is he on? That was Heenan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
But yeah, I love the whole, Jimmy Hart sets him up. Yeah, by the way, I'm your best friend from here on out.
Yeah.
Still to this day at the surf shop.
Yeah, exactly. And then Earthquake comes out, he attacks Hogan, and then he squashes him. Hogan's like,
clutching his chest.
Oh, that was great stuff, man. As a kid, I was upset too, man. I was so upset when Earthquake attacked Hogan. I thought Hogan was like legitimately hurt.
Yeah, because if you remember, they came out with the tribute video for 2 weeks straight. They were showing this video of Hogan with his music, the video, and then all of a sudden they played it in slow-mo as you see Earthquake sitting on him.
That was really well done. That was really well done.
It really was to get him away. And on television, the announcers had explained to everybody that Hogan's injuries plus his WrestleMania 6 loss to Warrior both took a huge toll on him his fighting spirit, and he actually was contemplating retirement. When I heard that, I was like, no, don't.
They had everybody sending letters to Hogan. They put the address on the screen.
They asked to write letters, send postcards for his return. Now, obviously, while off TV, Hogan was filming Suburban Commando.
Yeah.
Another action-packed 4-star movie that we all had to go see.
I actually thought that was better than No Holds Barred. I thought. I mean, it's not saying much, but
no.
I mean, Undertaker was in it. He had a cameo. You know what's funny about that? I don't get too sidetracked, but I remember Undertaker was in it, and I was telling my friends, "That's Undertaker, man. That's Undertaker."
Yeah, we know that now.
Yeah.
Back then we didn't. But yeah, because just around that time, Mark Calloway had actually just signed with WWE, but they hadn't given him a gimmick yet.
Right.
So, and this also made sense too, because if Hogan's still in the picture, then you got the Ultimate Warrior. This was the way to keep him out of the title picture right now,
but still keep him in a big program.
Yeah. And Hogan returned at SummerSlam.
Well, before that, as a matter of fact, he came out on Saturday. I think it was Saturday night's main event, and he announced that he's back. He came out. He made the announcement. He's gonna fight.
Yeah, and I remember the huge pop they gave him.
Yeah, it was big. And then Tugboat became like his best friend, and Tugboat was actually supposed to be in his corner, but I don't know if you remember, they attacked Tugboat. Remember, he goes out on the stretcher.
Yeah.
And then suddenly the big boss man somehow ends up in Hogan's corner, even though before he was, he threw him that beating. Remember on
Well, this went in reverse. They became friends after they beat the hell out of each other. This was the only time that Hogan, he didn't have a friend first and then
right, and then betrayed him. But
it was weird seeing him in his corner.
So you know what the thing about this is? I'll touch on it now. When Tugboat got beat up like that, and he was supposed to be gone for a little while. The plan was that he was going to get angry that I guess Hogan didn't help him or something, and he was going to become Sheik Tugboat.
Oh, leading into WrestleMania.
And that was going to lead into WrestleMania. Thank God that didn't happen.
Oh, my!
But I just wanted
Now, let me ask you a question. If they did that, was that still going to be a title match?
I think it was.
So Tugboat would have been the
I
champion?
think Tugboat was supposed to beat Warrior. Yeah, and then yeah.
No.
But we'll get into that a little
No.
in a little bit.
Oh my God, no. All
We
right,
go
yeah.
over to SummerSlam.
And this is right around the time I'm not sure, I'm not 100% when he told his fans this. It could have been Saturday main event, could have been Superstars, but he had brought in the fourth demandment.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was right after, immediately following SummerSlam, or it was before. But I remember that's when he became the Immortal Hulk Hogan.
Immortal, yes.
He was known as the Immortal Hulk Hogan from that point on, and he brought in the Fourth Amendment, which was believing in yourself, right?
Yeah.
Believing in yourself, yeah.
And yeah, I don't know exactly when he did it, but it was around
that time. It was around that time. Yeah. You know what's funny? If you listen to, I think it's WrestleMania 6. After when Hogan's going out on the cart, Gorilla Monsoon actually refers to him as the Immortal Hulk Hogan. That was the first reference.
I do remember that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, in Vince's eyes, he figures, well, that's stuck. That's your nickname now.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to SummerSlam. Thank God, it wasn't the main event.
Yeah, but it overshadowed, and we spoke about this before.
Yes.
The Hogan Earthquake feud overshadowed Warriors defending the title.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But kind of was what it was.
Is it? Yeah. So Hogan goes to SummerSlam. He defeats Earthquake. The match was okay.
I mean, I felt like the buildup was actually better than the match.
Yeah, exactly.
The buildup was great. I think the buildup was perfect. I love the whole monster heel versus Hogan. Kind of took us back to the the 80s a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the match it wasn't terrible. But Hogan, remember Hogan tried to slam him on the
and the table didn't break.
The table didn't break.
It just kind of folded.
Yeah, and then he just kind of like.
I think Vince was in the back going, shit.
Yeah.
He goes, all right, sorry, Earthquake. I can't do any more with you. If that match was a little better, I think it would have escalated Earthquake's status in WWE a little bit more. But unfortunately, what we got, and I gotta say this, and I think I'm right. I think when Vince saw this, that he's like, no, this didn't pan out well.
Did Hogan win by countout? How did he win by? He won by countout, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember Bruce Pritchard talking about this, that the reason why was because they wanted people to go to the house shows. Because right after that, he kept fighting him on the house shows.
Yes.
And he actually would pin him in the house shows. And he was saying, "Oh well, they wanted people to buy tickets. If you want to see Hogan, they would have bought the tickets either way."
I mean, yeah, but why not pin him on the pay-per-view?
Yeah, you know what's interesting about this? After SummerSlam, I mean, it's actually on SummerSlam. Hogan cuts the promo and he basically challenges Warrior. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think he says Warrior's name, but I think he says that he wants to be the #1 contender for the WWF Championship. So you think that he's going to go into a rematch with the Ultimate Warrior at some point? Yeah. Which there were rumors that was the original plan for WrestleMania 7, besides the whole Street Tugboat thing, which we got into in a little bit later. Mm-hmm. It was going to be a rematch, Hogan Warrior 2 at WrestleMania 7. And I would assume that Hogan was going to go over, but it never happened.
Yeah, and the best time to have started that storyline would have been Survivor Series, when they were involved in the grand finale match. Because they teamed together.
Yeah, I think what happened was they were leery of doing the babyface versus babyface again, and they felt like they remember they were trying to go with Warrior as the champion, but then you always felt like Hogan was like in the shadows, right? You always felt like Hogan was like peeking out, like waiting to take Warrior's spot. Like, you never felt that they fully invested in the Ultimate Warrior. I don't want to go on a Warrior tangent, but I think
go ahead, because I agree with you.
Right, but I feel like it's worth noting, like so
because and we talked about the WrestleMania 7 card, how we both felt that Warrior Savage should have been the main event and should have been for the title.
Yeah. So
that Hogan Slaughter or Hogan Sheik, whatever, should have never been the main event. It should have never even been for the title.
Yeah.
So but we'll get into that in a little bit. But so now Hogan is back. Goes to Survivor Series, involved in the feud. His team against the Natural Disasters. It was Earthquake, Dino, Barbarian, Haku. Mm-hmm. Hogan had Duggan, Bossman, and Tugboat. Hogan wins. He's doing his posing. BS, and then of course they had the grand finale match, which I liked, and I wish they would have done, kept doing that.
Got to see.
I thought it was pretty good.
Got to see Warrior and Hogan on the same team again. That was awesome.
You got to see
that was
Tito
special.
Santana in the main event. That's what surprised me.
Yeah, I know, right?
And Hogan fight guys that he wouldn't normally fight. Like you wouldn't see him in the ring with Rick Martel.
Yeah. That was cool.
And Paul Roma. So seeing that was like really interesting. It was stuff that you didn't see before. But yeah, Hogan and Warrior as a tag team just. After Tito was eliminated, they demolished the whole team.
But Tito got one.
Tito got one. He got the Warlord.
He got him with the flying forearm. It's nice to see Tito, and Tito deserved it. He had put in his dues and paid his dues.
He was especially that year. You remember the WrestleMania and then SummerSlam. He loses to Barbarian. He loses to Warlord. He's losing to everybody here, and it was nice to see Tito get a win there, especially against the big guy like the Warlord. But you remember DiBiase was like, "Oh yeah, these two just fought each other a little while ago. They're not going to trust each other. This is in the bag." It was really good to see the two of them in the ring again, and you always had that in the back of your mind watching Survivor Series, going, "When's the next match?"
Right? Yeah.
Forget teaming up. I want to see the next match.
Yeah.
And like you said, unfortunately, we didn't get it. So we go into 1991. Warrior's still the champion. Hogan still has his feud going with Earthquake. Hogan actually became now the first person to ever win 2 Royal Rumbles.
Yeah, back-to-back years too.
Yep, and only Austin and Shawn, I believe, are the only other 2 that did that. But it was funny how it comes down to Hogan and Earthquake in the Rumble.
Yeah.
So
no, but that was cool. That was like the blow off. I guess that was kind of like the blow off.
It culminated the feud. That was where it pretty much was over. Going forward, because now unfortunately Sergeant Slaughter won the WWE title, and I don't even know why he was the number 1 contender to begin with, because of the whole Desert Storm thing. I can see, but realistically, if you look at it, Slaughter should have never been in the title picture, considering he just came back. And he just came off a feud with Nikolai Volkov. I mean, come on.
They used the whole war thing, and remember it was supposed to be Sheik Tugboat. So they basically they ended up going with Slaughter as a heel. They made Slaughter a heel. And then like you said, he beat the Warrior. And then I like how Hogan at the end of the Royal Rumble, he just challenges like Slaughter. All of a sudden Hogan makes himself the number 1 contender.
Well, technically he was.
because he won the Royal Rumble.
So technically you could say 1991 started that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you could. It wasn't official. It wasn't official, but yeah.
Unofficially, yeah. But I mean, the story build up to WrestleMania 7 was good. I didn't like the fact, the whole he burned Hogan's shirt.
It was supposed to be the American flag, and Slaughter said, "No, I'm not doing that."
Thank God, because that to me, that's over the edge. But you burning Old Glory, no, you don't do that. I don't care.
Well, you don't burn any flag or desecrate any flag for that matter. I was
just going to say that, and we both said this on WrestleMania 7 thing. I do not condone any country's flag.
No, it's not right. It's not right.
That's over the edge. No. But the storyline build up between the two was good.
Yeah, it was well done.
The match itself had something to be desired.
The only problem was that the U.S. won the war like before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So it's like
so we still got the storyline going.
Right, you still got the storyline going.
Because this was
they didn't count on that, because when I forget when the war is actually declared, but it was right around the time of the Royal Rumble. Was it the night of the Royal Rumble they actually declared war?
Yeah, Piper was talking about it.
Right. So the timing was all like
way off.
Yeah, and then remember how we were talking about how it was supposed to be at the Memorial Coliseum.
Yeah, the outdoor arena. Yeah,
and there's different stories. I mean, the story that I heard that I believe was that it was just going to cost too much money to beef up the security for that.
You don't believe the whole threat against Slaughter? People will...
No, I believe some of that. Right. The story that I'm kind of iffy on is that, well, the pre-sale ticket sales weren't what they thought they were going to be. So they said, oh, we're never going to be able to make the money, so let's put it in a smaller venue. Maybe it's a combination.
Considering the main event, I think that might have been true. I mean,
it's possible. I mean, the business was. I feel like the business was still hot though at 91.
It was,
but maybe it was on a little bit.
Up, the main event match that they were offering.
You know what?
Wasn't solid.
It could be a combination of those two things. How they factored the money and they said, we're not making enough ticket sales plus the security. Who knows? So they ended up doing it in the smaller the smaller arena.
Yeah.
But I did like the whole WrestleMania Stars and Stripes.
Oh, I love
How it looked.
the whole thing. Yeah.
That was cool. That was cool. Hogan had the bandana. I remember the advertisements. He had the U.S. bandana. Then he had him on the cover of the magazine. He had the American flag.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
Did he get burned or something by Slaughter before that? Was that right after? Remember he gets.
I think they did that before the like the firebomb thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was before leading up to it.
It was leading into WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, because I mean these guys practically had a 7-8 month feud going here. I mean they had house shows they had Desert Storm match stipulation matches. I don't know if you remember any of those.
No, I remember.
Hogan would come out in the camouflage pants and beat the crap out of Slaughter. And I remember they did it at the Garden because I tried to go to that and it got sold out instantly.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, because they said it was a Desert Storm match, and I was like, "What is that?" And I remember, I think my sister's boyfriend at the time or someone was like, "Well, I try to get tickets and we can go find out." And I'm like, "Let's go!" And it was sold out in like an hour. Yes. But WrestleMania, the match was, I mean, Hogan getting over on the Enemy, the fans went nuts about it.
We got the title back.
We got the title back. And unfortunately, Warrior's not the champion, which we talked about. That should have been the main event with him and Savage, because I honestly believe that match was better than this. So, I mean, that's my opinion. Everybody
it was. It just it is what it is,
I mean, I can even say the DiBiase Virgil match was better than Hogan Slaughter, but I'm not going to go there. So Hogan is now once again the champion, and going forward, now he's a 3-time WWE champion. He again defended the title. They went over to overseas, the UK Rampage, the United Kingdom pay-per-view at the London Arena. Mm-hmm. He defended it against them there successfully. Now, the feud actually heated up, and this is where I was kind of enjoying it because it was heating up even now going towards SummerSlam. And the only thing I didn't like, and I mean, that's like right now, I'm gonna make the reference when Iron Sheik came back. Now they're calling him Colonel Mustafa.
Yeah,
and everybody's like,
"It's Iron Sheik.
We know who he is.
He had the boots on.
Yes.
Not only did he look the same, he actually had the boots on. And this guy, Piper, refers to him as Sheik.
Mm-hmm. I remember. And then to make matters worse, he's coming out like a bushwhacker.
Yeah. I don't know.
Now I'm gonna make the same reference. It's like right now on SmackDown when you got Pete Dunne coming out and they're calling him Butch, and it's everybody knows who the hell he is. Like I didn't understand back then why they had changed Sheik's name.
Yeah, it should have been the Sheik, but I guess because Iran and Iraq were at odds. That remember Iron Sheik is Iranian, so then they were like, well, let's just make him Colonel Mustafa and have him as an Iraqi soldier or something. I don't know. It's kind of stupid, but
it was good bringing him in.
Yeah, but
because now that
we know who he was.
You got the triangle. Triangle of terror.
Yeah.
Try to say that 3 times fast.
Yeah.
So escalating the feud with Hogan doing that, obviously then Hogan's got to bring somebody in to help him, and who better than the man that lost to him that he never should have at the Royal Rumble, the Ultimate Warrior, and to
the Warrior already had
more. Yeah, exactly. That feud was never really settled.
Yeah.
And because if you remember, during the summer leading to SummerSlam, Warrior was involved in a thing with the Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I honestly would have been cool if we got that match at SummerSlam, but we know why we didn't, because Taker was involved in something else. To escalate this even more, you bring in the guy you just signed in Sid Justice.
Yeah.
And the whole Sergeant Slaughter's trying to buy him.
Right. You didn't know.
What did he want to make? He wanted to make First Lieutenant
Justice? Yeah. That was funny when you told him that.
Oh, my God. I thought it was funny because if you look back now, you can see even where the Hogan Justice thing started, because when Hogan gets in the ring, has he ever thrown his belt or said anything to a referee? Right. He looks at him and goes, "Hey, big man," throws him the belt. And why is it that he needed him to come back and pose with him at the end?
I don't know. Well, that was them. They used to call it Hogan dust, when Hogan like co-signed somebody, and then because Hogan is co-signing them, that they get a little bit of cheer.
Yeah.
So he was sprinkling his Hogan dust on him.
I mean, Justice got a good pop coming out.
He did, yeah. He didn't need it.
People knew who he was.
They knew who he was.
And I mean, the whole match was good. The politics behind the backdoor part of this match was unfortunate. We've gone into this with the whole Warrior thing. Supposedly Jake Roberts and all that BS.
And Hogan was going to break his leg allegedly.
Yeah.
Or Sheik. But they had a conversation. Whatever. Yeah, anyway.
The backstage politics on this kind of took away from it later on when we found
out.
The match itself was good.
It came off well. The match made in heaven, the match made in hell.
It's made in hell.
Yeah.
I love the whole match made in heaven thing, especially where, that's what I was talking about. Undertaker was booked for something else, him and Roberts with that. But I mean, SummerSlam at the Garden, that match, the 2-on-3 was very good. Hogan continued through the end of the summer and the fall with the feud with Slaughter, but then it ended really at that point, because in the fall of 1991. Ric Flair got signed by the WWE.
Right, not only that, remember just to touch on SummerSlam for a second. Remember Bobby Heenan was running around.
Yes. I want to present you with the real. He slams the door.
Yeah.
Belt falls down. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Yeah, that was when they started plugging Ric Flair was in WWE.
Right there, he was on his way. Mm-hmm.
And Hogan fought him in a series of house shows through the end of 1991. Of course, we never got the pay-per-view, and we'll get to that in a little bit. So Hogan as champion now is going to Survivor Series. Well, and this is the first.
Well, I mean, before that, so Flair's running around talking about he's the real world champion, that antagonizing Hogan. They have the belt
on the funeral parlor.
Yeah, they have the big gold belt. He's coming out on Primetime Wrestling. Great stuff. It was really good to see. Then we go over to the funeral parlor.
Awesome.
Where they have the showdown with Hogan and Flair, and he has that line.
Let me tell you, brother. Oh man, that was.
And then Undertaker comes out and attacks Hogan, and then
was the match already signed, Bob, or this led to it? I don't
remember. Yeah, I actually don't.
Because this was this I think was Taker and Hogan's first encounter.
I believe so.
Was on the funeral parlor.
Well, I think it was their first official encounter because I think they did some house shows somewhere. I think they did wrestle each other. I think, but so that leads up to the gravest challenge.
Awesome match. I really enjoyed it. Watching this, I'm like, okay, this guy can't be hurt. Hogan's gonna beat him. If Hogan would have beaten him, I don't know if that would have hurt the Undertaker or whatnot, but with Flair coming out, kind of made it even better. And it's funny because during this pay-per-view, the only thing I didn't like about this pay-per-view was that at least 50 times they're just plugging in Tuesday in Texas.
This Tuesday in Texas, yeah. We spoke about that.
Because they only have 6 days to promote this thing, which they could have easily waited a couple of weeks and did this middle of December and gotten a decent arena, a decent card, and probably a better buy rate than what they had.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think waiting a little while would have helped. I mean, it wasn't going to hurt, the whole thing. Because, I mean, okay, Hogan loses the title to Taker thanks to Ric Flair. Flair, of course, Hulkamania is dead. His neck is broken, blah, 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 because he got tombstoned on the steel chair. They go to Tuesday in Texas, and I love how Taker's coming out. He's just holding the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Not around his waist, not on his shoulder, just holding it. It's awesome. Of course, Jack Tunney's sitting at ringside. You knew something was going to happen. Flair tries to come down. Tunney gets knocked down. Hogan technically should have been disqualified by using the urn, the ashes. Rolls over the Undertaker. I thought it was a little bit of a fast count. But supposedly now Hogan's the 4-time champion. I think it does go down.
No, they count it. They count it.
They count it, but they strip him. Which didn't make it. So if they're gonna do that, then DiBiase should be champion.
Well, the thing with DiBiase is he didn't win a match.
I know, but I mean, if you're gonna strip the title off the man, then strip him of the reign. I mean, what was his reign? It was 48 hours after they decided to strip him.
Yeah, that was stupid. I didn't like that. As a kid, I'm a Hulkamaniac, and I didn't like the fact that they stripped him.
Because then you're like, okay, how are they gonna? Because back then the first thing I thought of was '88. And I'm like, okay, how are they gonna do another tournament? How are they gonna do this? And the best way that I liked how they did it was putting up the title in the Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble, yeah.
Because this Royal Rumble had the biggest stacked roster you could possibly put in
Mhm.
there. And the stipulation that Hogan and Taker would get a number between 20 and 30. Unfortunately, Taker came out right away. I believe, his number was 20. Hogan came out at 26.
Yeah. In the next episode, we'll get into the whole. We'll go over 92 and 93, and we'll cover the whole Royal
Yeah,
Rumble.
yeah, I'm over here ready to just go
Yeah.
into it because it's just you forget that we shut it down. I mean, this thing was just action packed storyline feuds. I mean, this was
Yeah.
great stuff.
No, it was great stuff.
But we'll cover 1992 and the match that should have been and never was.
Yep. All right. So you guys let us know what you think. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.
Take care.